What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
I can't do a thing. We tried this before.
2-1.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Corner as the wrestling ring turns. So is Corner to Corner. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday night. It is 9 o'clock. Do you know where your mobile devices are?
It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday. Little Billy Joel action for y'all.
Very nice.
Hey,
love that song.
Sing us a song. You're the piano man.
Yeah. I'm done.
Folks, the triple threat is in the house. Well, 2/3. Filling in for Rob Hefner this evening is, of course, our awesome producer, Fast Eddie Lane. How are you, Edward?
I'm wonderfully well. In the words of Dale Earnhardt Jr., I'm just looking out the window. Sometimes I look out the back window, and sometimes I look out the front.
Of course, we are joined by the Doctor of Desire himself. The Doctor is in. What's up, Brian?
What's going on? I think we should take a second and condolences to the Berry family for Chuck passing away today.
You know what? One of my favorite songs is Johnny Be Good. It's been a favorite since I first saw Back to the Future, actually. So, yeah, absolutely. You think Marvin Berry will have anything to say to Chuck?
No.
And if there is a Sonic in heaven, do you think they'll have a lemon berry? I just thought of that.
Our condolences do go out to the Berry family, a legend of rock and roll, and it sucks anytime you lose an important person in your life, whether it's something you grew up with, whether it's a family or a friend or whatever. But yeah, definitely our thoughts and prayers go out to the Berry family. Folks, I'm Stan Grubb. We are, of course, Corner to Corner live tonight on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net. Damn, I'm tongue-tied already. We're not even 2 minutes in. Whew, boy. So, guys, heard any good jokes lately?
Good jokes or seen some good video?
I mean, there's videos making the rounds through YouTube and other outlets right now that have got the wrestling world, all a tingle, so to speak.
And I'm your
blushing.
And I'm your special guest host, Chet Cheddarfield.
And I'm Lance Catamaran. I miss my father. Let's start off with that, because that, the obvious thing to start off with, we will get to it. Don't worry, everyone. We will talk about what everybody is talking about. But everybody is also talking about Southpaw Regional Wrestling, which has got to be the most hilarious product WWE has brought out in history. Looking at the production value of it now, according to John Cena's Twitter, there is a person responsible for this awesome comedic golden moments, and you look at it from a lot of different slants. First off, there's the obvious that it's WWE's way of apparently making fun of the old territories, and I see that, and I can see why a lot of old school guys are upset about it, and I understand it. But at the same time, you have to recognize it for what it is. First off, WWF was never, even in Vince McMahon's senior's day, WWF was never in the South, really. It really didn't have a stronghold down there, and it really didn't have that presence until much, much later in Vince McMahon Jr.'s career. And you could say Black Sunday, but I think it stretches way past that. I think it was much more into the modern age that we truly saw WWE or WWF have a hold there. But Southpaw Regional Wrestling, in all intents and purposes, has got to be some of the funniest, but also most creative methods that WWE has utilized. And it makes me ask the question of where has this kind of creativity been? And why did they wait so long? The gentleman, by the way, who is responsible for Southpaw Regional Wrestling goes on Twitter as Pele, P-E-L-L-E, 1105, Brian Pelagato. John Cena gives him credit for that at about, this was about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It says, thank you, WWE Universe, WWE, for the feedback on Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Congrats to its creator. If you want more, ask him ASAP. That from Lance Catamaran himself. Who did they come up with the name Lance Catamaran?
That's just funny. Hello, I'm Ron Burgundy.
Fandango, I think, steals the show as Chet Cheddarfield.
Yes.
Call me Susan.
No, I don't. I like Gallows when he's got both eye patches, and he's talking about what's his name?
Chad Too Bad.
Yeah, Chad Too Bad. He's in my ear. He's in my ear.
How about Clint Bronski? Chris Jericho's interview character.
All right, so I forgot. I asked you the other day, so you name it. Who is the champion? That the skinny guy with the belt there at the very beginning.
Oh, John Johnson, the champion of Southpaw Regional Wrestling, is also known to the wrestling world as the former cruiserweight champion T.J. Perkins. Who knew T.J. Perkins had that kind of a comedic side to him?
I didn't even recognize Mr. Perkins there.
I mean, let's go over the cast of Southpaw. You've got John Cena as Lance Catamaran. You've got Fandango as Cheddarfield. You have Rusev as the lovable farmer. You've got Lana as Christian something. Damn, I can't remember the last name, but she's the farmer's girlfriend. Then you've got the banker being played as Tyler Breeze, or by Tyler Breeze. Chad Too Bad, who's Carl Anderson. Tex Ferguson, which is just a small change from Luke Gallows' alter ego, better known as Sex Ferguson.
Did you say Tad, or did you say Tad Ferguson?
No, I said Tex.
I swear,
Ferguson.
I swear, I thought you said Tad.
Well, they sound the same, you know, Tad and Tex.
You betcha, Tad.
They both start with the letter T. Clint Bronski, I think, is the interviewer's name, and that is played by Chris Jericho.
Amen.
It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And wrestling fans are loving it. It's all over Twitter. People are talking about it. Some would say...
Wait.
Go ahead.
You're missing one giant star. You
hit me with it.
To mention the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. I believe he plays himself in the KFC commercials.
No, he is a Ric Flair impersonator.
Oh, that's right.
According to the commercial on the text under his picture, it says Ric Flair impersonator.
And what's it? Come on down and eat with the cast, or what? How's he put at the end of them KFC commercials?
The cast of Southpaw Regional Wrestling will be at the KFC for a meet and greet. Is what he always says.
Yeah, but I think that's the first one. By the end of it, you're actually eating with them. I think by episode 4, he actually tells you to come down and eat with them or something.
I mean, it's freaking gold. Each video is about what, 7 or 8 minutes long.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
And it's I don't even. How about okay? Well, first off, you've got Rusev, who is, in my opinion, Rusev is the most entertaining out of the group. I mean, there's a bunch of them. There's one of the referees. Oh, and of course, there's the Ascension, the surf dudes with attitudes. You can't forget them. Come on, it's funny.
Oh, and don't forget the mask guy. There's a mask guy in the like promo for it. There's you have like a 0.5 video that's maybe 40 seconds long with some masked dude. By
the way, I've just received a press release from PETA. No charges were ever filed against Southpaw Regional Wrestling for their treatment and handling of the sea creature.
Oh yeah, the sea creature.
Well, what about the impressive Pelvis Wesley? Played, of course, by Heath Slater. He's got kids. Watch the videos.
Yeah, that the people they have, the ensemble for the videos, they're pretty good at comedy acting. I think Rusev takes the cake though. His promos are quite crazy.
Awesome.
I want to see Rusev do this type of personality on television. I want to see him do this more on Raw.
He was, and weren't you railing against him? I mean, he started that.
When he first started off, to me, he seemed like just another muscle-bound, clumsy goof, with a stupid anti-American gimmick, and I never have been a fan of those. They just don't play off well. I haven't seen a true gimmick play out like that since, maybe Lance Storm back in WCW's time. And even then, it was almost comedic because, it was Team Canada. I mean, come on, man. It's Canada. How do you take Canada seriously?
It's Canada.
You don't play hockey, do you?
Not to insult our beautiful fans in Canada.
Well, I don't know. Are we even getting hits in Canada yet? Aren't they behind the 8 ball there? Eh?
The fans in Toronto and in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
That would be the Hearts, I think. They love it. I hear. Smith especially.
Smith Hart's a fan. He likes. Well, I don't think he's too fond of Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Also, another gentleman who is definitely not happy about WWE's attempt at comedy with Southpaw Regional Wrestling is Bobby Blaze. Very vocal on on Twitter this afternoon and yesterday, talking about how he feels it's an insult that we would see anything like this happen when WWE could very easily promote and put more of the old school wrestling product on the air. And this actually kind of goes back to a conversation we had about the network when we were debating as to the growth and how long it would last and what people were truly watching. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll get you in a second.
Okay. Well, I mean, here in 7 minutes' time, we've got everyone watching. I mean, right now I'm looking at episode 4. 207,000 views, 9,000 likes, 99 dislikes. If that doesn't speak volumes for it, I don't know what does. I mean, in the first one, the first episode, the teaser, 479,000. I mean, it's got a clear success. And even though people out there are making fun and are unhappy that WWE is apparently poking fun, it's making them money even though people don't want it to. And wrestling fans all over the world are loving it. People are submitting creations for Southpaw Regional Wrestling to the WWE 2K17 creation community downloads. Big Bartholomew is there's video footage of. Let me see if I can pull this video up. I'm pulling it up right now. That someone has made it John Johnson. Let's see. There is. I mean, it's meant to be humor. I mean, Eddie, I'm sure you understand that you can see both sides of the coin, much like we can. Yes, I can see why it would insult some, but I think the design of it is just to be comedic.
All right. Give me about 70 seconds on this. Folks, I worked in this era. I trained in this era. I started training at a little place called the Waylighters Music Hall, formerly the Fairfield Theater on Gary Avenue in Fairfield. I worked in the epitome of this, and I'm laughing my ass off at it. Hashtag HellDamnAss.
Thank you.
No problem.
Bam.
By the same token, I understand how some people, because we live in an era where everybody just wants to whine about something. They want to bitch about something. They want to complain about something. Look, Arn Anderson worked down here in Continental Championship Wrestling as Super Olympia before he was Arn Anderson of the Four Freaking Horsemen.
Super Olympia?
Yes.
Okay.
Jerry Stubbs was Mr. Olympia. Then he brought in Arn Anderson under a different name to be Super Olympia. And then he was unmasked later to be Arn Anderson. Another individual who works as an agent in WWE and a producer, Brian B.G. James. His dad was the epitome of Southern wrestling. Bullet freaking Bob Armstrong. I can go on. Gallows runs WrestleMerica in Eastern Georgia. He's in the middle of all this. Joey Mercury and Gallows run a training camp out of Georgia and do seminars in the Southeast. And there's one more person. The name just seems to escape me for a hot second. Actually, it is escaping me, but I'm telling the truth on that one. But because I mentioned it during the 5:30 show for Beyond Ringside Live, and I'm trying to go back for it. But he works behind the scenes, and he was in the middle of all this hullabaloo too. I mean, I'm being real about it. Yes, Southeastern Championship Wrestling with Rick Stewart and Charlie Platt reminds me a little bit of this. Now, I understand they're trying to do a rib on Gordon Soley and Lance Russell. Some people are seeing that. Look, if Gordon were alive right now, he'd probably be laughing his ass off at it. In between glasses of scotch.
Call me Susan.
I don't know about the Susan part. But now, Stan, you and I both know the daughter of Gordon Soley and her husband. We've interviewed them.
I think I can confidently say that the Allens would look at this and laugh and know that even if it was a bit of a rib on Gordon Soley, that they know that he would have enjoyed it.
And from that vantage point, you know, you had Continental Southeastern, you had Dothan, you had Chattanooga, you had Knoxville, you had Memphis, you had Mississippi, then you had, good Lord, the Gulf Coast Territory, then you had Georgia Championship Wrestling, the early days of Mid-Atlantic. Come on, folks. If you're old enough to remember some of these promotions, you can't be getting upset. And I sit back and say, Gallows, once again, in my humble opinion, dude, I know some of his fingerprints are on this. Just like I know Arn Anderson's fingerprints are on this. Because Anderson was down here. He knows what it was like. You cut the deal with a local Chevy dealership. We're going to have a battle royal for a brand new 1986 Corvette convertible that the company uses for a write-off to be demolished next week. Been there, done that. Understand the concept. I find it to be funny. I found it to be humorous. I love the subtle stuff that's in there that a lot of people are overlooking. And for everybody who's getting oh so pissy about this, please would you grow the mortal effing hell up and understand what comedy is supposed to be. This is one of the most creative things that WWE has put out in a while. And then here comes Paige.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
No. But seriously,
that's our door to open and close, sir.
I know. I was just having fun with it. At least you didn't do it for a leadoff story. That's all I ever asked. We saved it for the final quarter. But as far as it goes with South,
that's where he was going, though.
But I'll tell you
he was going to ram that rod home.
Up, down, down has a brand new meaning. Wait a minute. This just in from WWE Creative. A special match has just been added. Brad Maddox and Xavier Woods in a handicap match tag team against Paige. But let me come back to this.
Referee, the anonymous Raw general manager.
I don't, all mine are PC. I don't have that damn sound effect over here. I have an Apple phone, but that's all I got. In all sincerity, to the driving forces behind Southpaw Regional, my hat's off to you. I loved it. I thought it was funny. I laughed. I cried. I kissed 28 minutes of my life goodbye, and I was smiling the whole damn time. And if you come out with a T-shirt for Southpaw, I'm buying the damn thing. And Gallows, I want that Ribera jacket. I don't care how many times you have to hit me in the head. I want that Ribera jacket.
Hard to follow up on that, Brian. I'll leave that to you.
Well, I mean, Eddie touched on some valid points. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? I don't think they're doing it maliciously. I personally look at it as like the greatest KFC commercials ever because they just throw that in there in the middle. And, every time it pops up to me is like hilarious. But I agree with Eddie. The WWE is losing money if they don't come out with them $10 T-shirts for Southpaw Pro Wrestling or champion, whatever it is, Southpaw
Regional Wrestling.
There it is, Regional Wrestling, and also they need to actually book that Battle Royal or that
Lethal Leap Year.
Yes.
Oh,
I would like to see it.
I will guarantee you this, unless they have that on lockdown trademark and copyright. I've already been in touch with the owner of Global. We run on the last Saturday of the month, which would actually be Saturday night, February the 29th, 2020. That is the next leap year, and it's just under 3 years away. So guess what? We've already got the plans in works. If we can get a hold of the name and use it legally, Global's already talking about doing a lethal leap year down here in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about that. That would be a cool concept for a pay-per-view. It only comes around every 4 years. You can do some seriously crazy stuff on that. But I digress. I want a T-shirt as well. I think it's funny. I enjoyed watching it. Rusev again. He takes the cake. Him and his neighbors.
He's going to do this for the chickens.
Yeah. The banker, you're a schmuck for taking that man's farm like that.
Oh, by the way, we have a new sponsor on Corner to Corner.
Uh-oh.
They'll be at the KFC immediately following next Sunday's event with a purchase of the new Woo Crispy, Woo Tangy, Woo Honey Mustard, Barbecue Flavored Georgia Gold Chicken. Woo! You can get one of them to sign your wrapper. Maybe if you ask politely. Woo!
It's classic. Those are like classic Flair promos for KFC,
Golden. Woo! Crispy. Woo!
Baby! Oh, I'm sorry, different person.
Oh, gosh.
And for the record,
man, oh, man.
And for the record, I actually have downloaded all 4 of the episodes.
They're gonna need to make a DVD, a behind the scenes. I mean, it's gonna be glorious.
Well, they need to get a few more of these out. I think
there's only 4.
I think they will.
There's only 4.
I know.
I'm with you.
Oh. But yeah, and again though, there is that 5th one of the masked wrestler, and I forget what he's even got a name, and he's like in a hallway, and he is cutting a promo, and then he starts like jumping around or something. It's real short, but it's pretty good too. So make sure you watch all 5.
There's only 4.
No, there's another one. I'm telling you. Find the white guy. The white guy.
Did you just say find a white guy?
Yeah, find the white guy. It's late. I get tongue-tied. I've been up since 6.
So have I.
Lord, y'all should see me when I drink.
I have, actually. The Mokies have, too. Remember that.
Well, yeah. We need to run into them again. That was great. Next time we'll get some like Coronas or something.
Well, I mean, I think we should treat them to only the best.
That's right.
Milwaukee's best.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Or Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
It's a shame we didn't go back this year. That could have been like our tradition. The corner crew drinking with the Mulkeys. It could have been great.
They may actually be. They may actually be at the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Expo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming up in May in Richmond, Virginia. We will be speaking with the promoter and also one of the highlight guests of that event. We will be speaking with them next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be joined by the promoter known as Lee Crowder, and we will also be joined by future Hall of Famer, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton will be joining us next week. Calling all the way from Chunky, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Funny.
I can't wait. That'll be good. That'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great conversation to talk to them about the upcoming event. And, I'm sure we can slide in some questions there to ask Ricky about how he feels about finally going into the Hall of Fame and talking about the good old days, and maybe even see if he's actually had a chance to see these Southpaw videos.
Wait, time out. So I've just watched one of these little videos on YouTube about Southpaw Regional Wrestling, and about halfway through the clip, it's a minute 31 seconds, 48 seconds in, there's a picture of Heath Slater's Twitter account with a Southpaw Regional Wrestling shirt in white, and it looks like it may have the WWE logo on the tag.
Can't wait. WWEshop.com. Put it up there.
It may be on the way.
We're going to have to get this done, daggone it. We need these shirts in our lives. All right, well, we'd like to have one, is what I'm saying.
Hey, for $10, like the commercial says, I'm down with it.
Yeah, but it also takes 42 to 60 weeks to get it to you.
Yes.
No!
Yes, it's available for only $10. All you have to do is call KL53226. Allow 16 to 32 weeks for delivery. No money-back guarantee. 636 Sweet Street, Silvertown, USA, 9105337BR549.
Now, I just want to know what waterhead tried to call the number looking for the shirt.
It doesn't even have an area code, kids. Don't try to call it.
Ma, what's Klondike mean? Ma!
Because there's probably some poor, and I hate to talk about my brethren like this, some poor redneck out there that was drunk looking at YouTube, thought he had just found the newest wrestling federation, and he had to get himself a T-shirt. And yes, I come from the sticks in old Virginia. I can talk about rednecks.
Oh, my goodness. That is some of the most exciting wrestling action you will ever see.
Ain't you going to flip a chair out?
Get yourself together, Chet. What better way to head to our first break of the evening? Talking about Southpaw. Folks, we will be back right here after these few messages.
Well, wait a second, though. We should preface this break, though, with the fact that when we come back, we're going to find out that Paige went down south, and she got caught on video. Now you can stay tuned.
We'll be right back on Corner to Corner.
I'm going to teach him how to do a teaser if it kills me.
What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Oh my God. Welcome back to Corner Wrestling radio show right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. I'm Lance Catamaran. My co-host is Chet Chetterfield.
I just have to drink, right?
That's right. That's
right
all
up
you
your
have
alley.
to do is take a drink. Oh boy, guys and girls, it has been an interesting week in the world of wrestling. It's Southpaw, of course, it's definitely a big deal and people are talking about it, but something else has happened this week.
John Bradshaw Layfield's show got canceled.
You know, that is true, and it's sad.
No, Mama, no.
And Corey Graves' show gets canceled.
No, the tattoo one?
But let's be real here. Did anybody ever really watch Culture Shock?
Actually, I did. I enjoyed it.
Oh, there you go, Corey. You're one fan.
And actually, quite a few people watched Culture Shock if you looked at the numbers. But they wanted to put cartoons on.
Hey, WWE Camp is awesome.
And who is this Mark that's running Bring It to the Table? Please. This guy is such... Okay, look. I do not use that word loosely, but this guy is such a mark for himself, it's not even funny. I'm an arrogant, self-centered, megalomaniacal egomaniac from hell. This guy makes me look like Gabriel the angel.
Well, I mean, for the record, they contacted my agent last week, and there wasn't enough money, so they had to go with somebody else, I guess.
Dude, I wish you'd have gotten it. You'd have done a better job. This guy is...
Yeah.
I mean, Peter Rosenberg is pretty well known in the hip-hop industry and in radio. He's a DJ for Hot 99 up in New York. Huge wrestling fan. I've talked to him briefly before, but I had no idea that he had gotten the WWE connections that he has. That's interesting, to say the least.
Well, he probably went down to his local KFC. It's some Georgia Gold.
Woo!
Met the Wrestlers.
Did they sign his rapper? But only if he asked politely.
If you ask nicely.
Oh, man. You know, there's times in the world of wrestling and celebrity that stuff happens that, man, you kind of wish you could take back. You wish maybe you'd been a little bit smarter about what you kept on your cell phones and your camcorders and memory cards.
Oh, you talking about Shane McMahon and AJ Styles at WrestleMania?
No, I think that may actually be entertaining. Much like...
Oh, you mean Impact actually getting rid of people and trying to build new stars?
Well, when they do that, you let me know. Because so far, all I'm seeing is Jeff Jarrett's retreads.
Sienna is not a retread.
Who is that? I'm sorry.
Sienna.
Oh, no. Sienna is most definitely not a retread. You're correct. I will not argue that point. You're right. Sienna is actually a great talent, and I agree with you.
Do you mean the faction in Ring of Honor that's changed their name 6 times in the last 3 months?
Isn't that pretty much every faction that's outside of the WWE that changes their names?
And that's all the time we have for tonight. Good night, folks.
Dang it, man.
Let's talk about I won't say elephant in the room, although I'm sure Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox would like us to refer to them as such. No, let's go ahead and talk about it. The leaking, quote unquote.
No, wait. Leaking is such a bad word.
Okay. The releasing?
That's nice.
Well, releasing could be misconstrued too.
Okay. The hacking. The hack job.
That's better.
Allegedly.
The hack job. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you saw it. Was it the hack job? Or did they throw? You know what I'm saying?
I haven't watched them.
I'll be honest. I've watched them. I'll be that guy. Yes, I watched them. Okay.
Dirty perv.
I am, and I'm. You know what? And I'm sure I'll get a lot of negative feedback for it. Blah 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 blah. Come on, really, guys. I mean, for those of us that are not otherwise unavoidably detained by a spouse, you're gonna look. Come on, be honest. Doesn't mean you're gonna share it and send it. No, not necessarily.
Well, I think you did share it and send it though.
Between friends, of course. Not on the internet though. Not like I
put
it
a
on
dirty
the website.
trick. I'm not opening that attachment.
Oh, you opened it. Paige and Brad Maddox and Xavier Woods all involved in a sex tape being released, photos, videos, the whole 9 yards. Let's identify the major invasion of privacy here that is right in front of all of us now. And it sucks for Paige and for Maddox and for Xavier Woods to have this kind of thing come to light because, one, if I'm not mistaken, I think Xavier Woods is married. 2, Paige has already run through the mud for everything else in her career, and now this is yet another thing that's going to go against her, unfortunately. But this is something that she did in private, thinking only with her hormones, I would suppose. Probably not expecting it ever to be released for public consumption. And it's disappointing, but at the same time, is it really shocking?
Nope.
No, probably not.
Nope.
It's not. It's not different from anybody else that's ever, had sex or whatever. I mean, it's what people do. The only thing is, this one is now a celebrity and also released for all the world to see. I will say that I'm sure that the NXT Women's Champions that came after Paige, no pun intended, are probably hoping that belt's cleaned.
The belt wasn't used for a prop. Is that what you're telling us?
Okay.
Don't go into
this delicately.
Yeah, delicately.
Let's just say that when the finish occurred,
the title came up. They held the title up.
There was a title in the picture.
Oh my goodness!
And unfortunately involved in the finish.
Oh my goodness gracious!
There is an image that is out there. I'm sure very soon these things will be deleted. I guarantee you they will track it down. They'll get it removed. It's just like any other tape that gets released. They're going to get it removed. You won't see it very much longer. Somebody is obviously going to do screen caps and downloads. That's totally different. What I'm saying is they will ultimately get involved. What's that?
So you pin me, you get the title.
Well, let's just say the job got done. And when it was done, there was evidence not just on Paige, but also on the belt.
That's nasty. Wait,
and the thing is, there are champions that have come after that have kissed said title.
Oh. Right now, they're all like replaying the scene from Ace Ventura.
Although
I kicked the belt.
Although I do have to sit back and say there is an extended cut available to where Brad Maddox shows that he is just as inept in the bedroom as he is behind the in front of the camera during Monday Night Raw, because he is severely quoted as saying,
"Is this supposed to be plugged into anything?"
There you go.
Oh wow.
And Paige immediately retorted with,
"Forget about it!"
I mean, the unknowing, the unsuspecting victim in all of this, honestly, is Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a guy that unknowingly took part, and now he's famous for a lot more reasons than the New Day.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was harmlessly watching Hogan's porn, feeling lonely, called up some friends, was like, hey, come watch it. Next thing you know, it happened.
I mean, there he was on a couch, minding his own business.
Mind his own business.
Didn't have any clothes on. He was enjoying his privacy.
Probably in his socks. Do you have his socks on?
I'm not sure. Let's go to
Oh,
the
so you were distracted by other things you had, huh?
I mean, he may have been distracted by the television. I mean, there's Brad. He's like, get out of the way. Get that camera out of my face. I'm trying to watch TV. And there's Paige saying, come on, it'll be fun. And he's like, no, I'm trying to watch this. And I didn't see any game controllers there, but I do understand that there was a lot of up, and down, down.
And somewhere in America right now, Xavier Woods is still being quoted as saying,
"It's for gamers. Tonight is for us." Yeah. So whether you're at home watching online or whether you're here in attendance, this is a reminder that awesome stuff happens every single day thanks to games. So sit back
and relax.
Kick your feet up.
Put on your fuzzy slippers.
Take your socks off.
Make some ramen.
Call your mama.
Tuck in your cat.
And delete your Twitter.
Yeah. So was the game Hide the Weasel? Was it?
I don't know, but I'm understanding that Paige is pretty well versed in the art of the joystick.
Oh, well.
Let's just say she didn't use turbo.
I understand Chris Jericho called Paige earlier today to let her know,
"You just made the list!"
And when he was finished, he said, "Drink it in, man."
Oh, no, that is so bad. Dude, I'm sorry, but for that line right there...
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Don't you love it when I actually do production work?
What can you say that hasn't been said about this video? I mean, the jokes are aplenty. They'll be there for as long as they last. And then once this is done, somebody else will get exposed or whatever. Somebody else will reveal a sex tape or video or picture or whatever. For the fleeting moments that Paige has this time.
And what did Xavier Woods say afterwards?
That was totally wicked!
Where's my $2? It reminded me, honestly, of, and I asked Brian if he had seen this, Eddie, maybe you had, of Sex, Lies, and Videotape. There's Brad Maddox playing the amateur director, like he's, I mean, Look, I'm not saying that if I wasn't in that circle, that I wouldn't have attempted to take part in something with Paige or any other the awesomely attractive women in NXT or whatever. But
You so
I don't.
nasty.
I'm just
What
saying.
would you do when you?
I would never videotape it.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do when you're distracted by Paige and old Brad sneaks up on you?
Well, that's the thing.
I mean,
don't
if
know
I
what's
was
gonna
Woods,
happen
that's
now.
the way I would play it. I'm like, they tricked me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they gave me a roofie. I don't know, but they tricked me.
I mean, what would we do if that came out? I mean, if we found out that he was drugged. I mean, it's crazy to me, but the moment a videotape gets involved, the moment a phone comes out and somebody's like, let's take a picture, I'm like, nope, all done.
Oh,
done.
I thought you were just naturally that fast.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Oh. Be the greatest 60 seconds of her life, that's all I know. And you know what? I don't even need to cuddle after. I'm good.
That's funny.
Thank you.
Corner to Corner is winning tonight.
I don't care who you are, that's just funny.
I mean, but do you feel bad for Alberto Del Rio in this situation?
I mean, if they weren't together at the time, no. If they're together, if they were together at the time, yeah, I'd feel bad for them. I mean, everybody's got a past, so you know, it's not like she got paid for it or anything that we know of. She didn't make a lot of them, and you know, there may be a few more home videos floating around, but I don't think he can get that mad at her. And you know him, he's probably like, well, if you want to film it, let's film it. You know.
ADR's just sitting back going, hey.
Do it with style.
El Patron.
Do it with style.
Oh, man. Let's just hope that they were all safe, using protection, going to confession afterwards, calling their moms and saying, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Brad wasn't talking while he was filming the other two, was he?
No, well, not that I heard. He's just sitting there.
The dirty director from the 70s porn. Oh, that's your baby. Show me love.
No, but I mean, he had more than his fill. I mean, there's.
Don't you mean she had more than his fill?
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Also, I mean, they're in a dressing room in a mall. There's a video of that. There's videos of Paige by herself. There's photos now. I mean, it's. Here's the thing. Like, you remember back in the Attitude Era, you had all of these beautiful divas out there, and you knew that sooner or later one of them's going to pose for Playboy, like Sable and all the rest. They do it. Photos are out there. Now you've seen it, and it's like, oh well, I've seen that. Next, all done. Moving on, and it's kind of had me thinking that that's going to be how people treat Paige. All right, I've seen it. Yep, she's here. Whatever. So if she's in WWE, the interest on her will be there for a while. The fame of all of this will fade, and then she'll be fired for some stupid reason. Xavier Woods, he'll probably end up. We were talking about this a little bit. Fined. I kind of doubt that they'll get rid of 1/3 of the hottest tag team faction in WWE right now. If it did happen, I mean, they did remove Hogan from every sign of the website just for his sex tape, which took place even further back. But at the same time, it's
Whoa. Big difference. Big difference.
Did you watch the tape?
No, actually,
wait. Boom, boom.
Oh, where'd it go? Okay, fine. Okay, you win. You win that fall. So I think we're all tied. One fall each. Next fall wins.
Woo!
There is a huge, and folks, hear me out on this one. There is a H-U-G-E, huge, big difference between Paige and Hulk Hogan.
Is it like a python size difference?
Don't know. I've never watched either tape. Although I did stay in American Express last night. I mean, Holiday Inn Express last night.
I think in places you don't like to talk about or be seen. You saw the tapes.
Nope, never did. Seriously, that's a shoot. For me, it's very simple. There is a difference between Hulk Hogan, who was one who defined an era in professional wrestling twice, and Paige, who was a part of the Divas division when the only other strong one there was really AJ Lee. And right about there, AJ would actually look at Paige and go, "The talent is not sexually transmitted." Again, I've been trying to find a damn soundbite and I can't find it. It's in my library somewhere. But the fact of the matter stands. When you had Hulk Hogan, who was the epitome of the 80s and the early 90s, train, say your prayers, take your vitamins. This person sold more merchandise than General Motors had cars. And then he came back, went to WCW, and was transformed into Hollywood Hogan, who helped the NWO sell more merchandise than people bitch about the lack of Saturday morning cartoons. Paige has not gotten anywhere near that status.
Oh, I mean, I'm not saying that she would ever get anywhere near that status. My thought process on this is that once this fame wavers, once it disappears, really she doesn't have anything else. It's all done. And she'd have to make another video, with like Vivid or one of the other companies out there.
Oh, like China.
Brazzers. Well, yeah, or Sunny. To get her name back out there, because the demographic that, and I don't care what anybody says, I may take flack for this, but unless you are like, we'll just put it out there, like Rachel Ellering, Tessa Blanchard, the accomplished women's wrestler, unless you're in that group, if you're in anything like a diva style presentation, the people you're appealing to most times is going to be between about 16 to 30, and then once it gets past 30, it's gross. But the overall is it's all guys, and they're all watching because you're sexy and you're appealing. But once you've seen everything there is to quote unquote see, what are you watching it for? That's my point. I mean, with Paige, this is all gonna blow over, and thankfully, it'll be in her past very soon, and I'm sure she'll be glad that it's gone. And I'm hopeful for her in that regard, that it disappears and that she doesn't have to deal with it but so much. But the problem is, once this fame fades, it's not like she's wrestling anymore. So what has she got? Unless she makes another video or does something else that's controversial, and not that she wouldn't, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, her fame's going to fade, and then she's going to be stuck, much like China, much like Sun.
Are we sure she's not wrestling anymore? Or are you talking about like in the future?
Well, I'm predicting. I mean, I'm assuming, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Then let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Out of the last 20 years, when WWE, especially during the Attitude Era, had 9 different women appear in Playboy, how many of them are still under contract to WWE in any capacity at this time?
I don't think any of them are.
And that's where Paige is going to be.
And I mean, that's my point. It's sad because Paige is actually an accomplished women's wrestler and is talented. I don't know if I'd say she's better than Sasha Banks or Bayley or Charlotte or any of them, or even Becky Lynch or Alexa Bliss. But at the same time, no, I would say she's better than Alexa Bliss. us. We'll be fair. At the same time, though, all kidding aside, everything that has happened this week with Paige and this video and the photos, all of that has really done is spark a fire for brief moments, and then it's going to be gone. And she's going to pay the price in the long term. And if, in fact, her relationship with Alberto Del Rio fizzles the way most wrestling relationships do, I mean, then what does she have? She's got angry parents who thinks the WWE's after them, which I don't believe. Yes, WWE very much wants to conquer the UK, but I don't think it's a personal vendetta to hurt the Knight family. I don't buy into that whole mafioso crap that so many fans have out there, that Vince McMahon is this evil, puppeteer trying to take over the world. Come on, grow up.
And what do you like in your coffee now?
What? Say what?
What do you like in your coffee?
Cream and sugar.
Okay.
Are you trying to tell me something?
And what exactly are you putting in your water to negate the fluoride?
Are you insinuating, sir, that I'm a Kool-Aid drinker?
Brian, would you like to touch this topic before I hit it?
No. Much like Xavier Woods, you just go on and hit it.
If you think for one hot second that Vince McMahon would not love to have any and all wrestling and or sports entertainment under his umbrella, go ahead, smoke another one.
But that's not what I said.
That's similar.
Of course he wants... No. Don't twist
He
it.
wants to be the only game in town. If he can run everybody else out of business, bonus.
But that's... Okay, that is one-sided thinking. Yes, he wants it under the umbrella of WWE. Of course he does. Any successful businessman does. Does he want to run everybody out of business?
Yes.
I don't know. I think he was willing to help ECW along for a time that nobody else wanted to. I think he would have even helped WCW had Eric Bischoff not been such a prick. Or, no, let's put it on both shoulders. Both sets. Eric Bischoff and Ted Turner. I think he'd have been more than willing to help WCW stay afloat and stay going. The problem was that Ted Turner made a phone call and made it personal. Guess what, Vince? I'm in the wrestling business.
You think that made it personal? What the
For
hell?
Vince McMahon, absolutely. Once he started seeing his talent get pilfered away, and we already know it's public record that WCW was making sure they had contacts from the inside, contacting them, letting them know when certain contracts came up.
That wasn't Ted Turner.
Yeah, no, that was Eric Bischoff.
Thank you.
No, Turner wasn't involved on a ground level. No. I wouldn't be dumb enough to put that in there. No, you're absolutely right. He wasn't. But Eric Bischoff, on the other hand, had feelers out there doing the same things that Hogan was doing. The only difference between the two is Vince McMahon won that war, quote unquote. I think had it been a different mentality, had Eric Bischoff and Ted Turner been more willing to do business with Vince McMahon, and I think Vince McMahon would have done business with them as well, that we could have seen something completely different. I think the reason that it went the direction it did was because they made it so personal. Which is a debate I love having, by the way. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that Vince McMahon is a mafia type guy. That he wants to like take over the world, and he's going to put a political hit out there for different wrestling promoters. I just don't buy into that crap.
Well, I don't think he is like a Al Capone type figure, but I think Vince enjoys the destruction that he has caused. And I don't think he's quite as hungry as he was, back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s when he started this. Maybe he's grown wiser, but I think there's a part of Vince that really enjoyed destroying everybody.
Yep.
So... And, whether it's, there's a resurgence going on, for me with a lot of these promotions popping up. And I don't think he's going to rob talent like he did in the past, or maybe it's because Triple H has more focus and power now than
Ring of Honor.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's no doubt Vince truly enjoyed destroying everybody else. So, and that's how you become a billionaire. You have to love that you're stepping on somebody to get to where you want to be.
Well, that's true. I mean, it's definitely a cutthroat type industry and cutthroat business in general. And, maybe to your point, back during the 80s and 90s, it was Vince's sole mission to crush.
I mean, it's almost, to me, I mean, he almost was fighting a war that his father didn't. Because you remember the WWE was at one time, no, seniors. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. God, entertainment. I almost slipped to it. I caught myself. Anyway, but you almost got to think that he enjoyed avenging his father, because they were part of the NWA one time, and then there was a dispute, and didn't they want to keep the title somewhere else? Didn't want to send it to New York, and that's where the title split. And isn't that right?
I mean, he
wanted a champion, but they didn't want to put it on him, so they split or something. And he started his or left out on his own. Right. And he probably suffered somewhat, because at that time the NWA was the largest brand conglomerate in probably the entire world. And the McMahons were a very smaller company. Mm-hmm. And then, he probably watched his father through so many years struggle to stay relevant. And he just, when it was his turn and he got that shot, he said, well, screw y'all, I'm going to destroy you. And then just lo and behold, he becomes a billionaire. And the more money you make, the more money you want.
Perfectly said right there.
I mean, I think there's a lot of validity to that. I certainly am not saying that Vince Jr. did not want to be the dominant force out there. I mean, I would never be so naive. I just don't know that I buy into it in today's business, I guess. And maybe it is, but to me, it just doesn't seem like it is.
I'm going to totally swerve you on this after the break.
Sounds like a good plan. Let's go ahead and take the top of the hour break here on Corner to Corner. When we come back, we'll find out what Eddie's got to say about this whole deal and see what his swerve really is all about. Stay tuned to Corner. We'll be right back on the Pro Wrestling Radio, ProWrestlingRadio.net and BeyondRingside.com. Good God. Just shoot me. Welcome back to hour number 2 of
Corner
Wrestling Radio. We're live and on the air on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, ProWrestlingRadio.net, BeyondRingside.com. And, of course, you can catch the replays on Spreaker.com once we are finished. Joining us, still here at the top of the hour, Fast Eddie Lane.
Talent is not sexually transmitted.
Told you I'd find it.
The doctor is in, Brian Taylor.
Hello. And I would like to say that Rob, who's down at the local KFC waiting to meet the Southpaw crew, we miss you, buddy. We miss
you. Woo! Which I'm really surprised that you have not said anywhere throughout the course of the show tonight.
Adam Cole, baby!
Well, we have not discussed that. And I'd love to take a minute and jump on that real quick, because
please,
I with his loss of the world title and his falling out of the Bullet Club, I'm almost under the impression that his words that he stated so many months ago may be coming to pass, and that he may be en route to
Florida.
Yes, because Christopher Daniels, he doesn't get a rematch at the next pay-per-view with Daniels. The falling out, so to speak, with the Bullet Club. So that's kind of what happened to AJ as far as the falling out with the club. So maybe sometime in April he goes down south to Florida.
Don't be surprised if he shows up at TakeOver.
Oh, you TakeOver. Nice.
Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Adam Cole is a tremendously gifted in-ring competitor. I like the way he works. On the microphone, he comes across a little heavy-handed, but he's good on his promos. Look, I'd give him a chance. Give him a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait. I hope he does go NXT. I think it'll be great for him. He'll get some much-needed exposure with the WWE crowd, I think, and then he can move to the main roster in a few months.
Probably SmackDown. I don't see him on Raw.
Something tells me I'm gonna not be watching a lot of SmackDown soon.
Why's that?
Well, we're gonna touch on this nasty little rumor that's out there that supposedly Roman Reigns is going to be moved to SmackDown.
Please, for the love of God, no.
Yeah, well, it gets better. It gets better because they are going to try and make that move to lead into WrestleMania 34, which is well over a year away. And the main event of that WrestleMania should be, according to what is out there, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the world title.
Unification match?
No. Well, I guess maybe. I don't know. I guess that's the only way they pull it off if he goes to SmackDown.
If they really wanted to find a way to get me to regurgitate my KFC Georgia Gold as well as my Pizza Hut pizza, I probably just did it.
Woo!
Practicing my Asian tongues.
So this actually gets back into kind of the conversation we left on. And this is the conversation about Vince McMahon. Vince, in his, in this case, not so infinite wisdom, seems to believe that this Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar matchup is money. And I, for the life of me, don't understand why he feels this way. I like Roman Reigns. I am not ashamed to say that I'm a fan, but I also recognize the obvious, and that is that he's not this isn't doing anything for his career or growth to put him in this position, and WWE isn't going to see any benefit from this.
Okay.
Well, real quick, though, I think the direct quote was that Roman Reigns will replace John Cena as the main guy in the company by 34. So.
Okay. When you wake up in the morning and you're a businessman, what is one thing that you think of right off the top of your head?
I can't wait to drive my Aston Martin all around town.
Okay.
Sorry, you're talking to somebody that doesn't have billions, so I'd love to drive that around. It'd be fun.
Okay. What is the one thing that a person that does not have money want?
Money.
What is the one thing that a person who has money want?
More money.
What is what is one thing that a person who has power want?
More power.
Absolute power.
There is no. Okay. There are gentlemen's agreements. There are unspoken alliances and colleagues of whom we never mention in the world of business.
True.
Vince McMahon, when he got a hold of his dad's company and bought the World Wrestling Federation from his father, he'd been trying to tell his dad for years that this company can be so much more. His father was very high on the gentlemen's agreements that were in place between him, Jim Crockett, Bob Geigel, Wally Carbo, Vern Gagne, Jack Atkinson, Bill Watts, Don Owens, Eddie Graham. I knew I was forgetting Florida. And then lo and behold, Junior came in and said, this is my game now. You want to call this the World Wrestling Federation? I call this the World Wrestling Federation, and it's going to be known all over the world. It's not enough to sell out Madison Square Garden 63 times. It's not enough to sell out Shea Stadium. I want bigger. I want more. And I can only do so much with the people that I have here. If I'm getting ready for a syndicated television launch, which I already have in place on WWOR Channel 9, which is getting nowhere near the impact that ESPN's getting with the AWA and World Class, I'm going to find a way to get that. I'm going to surpass them. I have to. If I'm going to be acknowledged as better than my father, it's got to be bigger than Dad ever dreamt of. Let's look at Georgia. Let's see who all they got. Let's look at the Carolinas and see who all they got. Let's look at the AWA. Let's look at Florida, the Pacific Northwest, Texas. And we're going to cherry pick. We'll make offers. Ted DiBiase, Jim Duggan, One Man Gang came in from the Mid-South area. Billy Jack Haynes, Roddy Piper started to make the move from the Pacific Northwest. You had people that were being offered nice amounts of change to come tour with the WWF. Well, people like Bill Watts managed to restock because they had a down-home promotion. Crockett didn't have that luxury, but he had also gentlemen's agreements in place between North Carolina, Florida, and Mid-South, as well as up in the Kansas City area. We go from there. The more that people started to become stars in other areas, the more they attracted Vince McMahon. But in my world, in the world of Vince McMahon, I don't give a damn what you did there. I'm the biggest game in town. I'm the only one that matters. You don't exist in this industry until you exist on my plane. And when you leave, unless you've made the biggest impact, period, you never get mentioned again. That's why most people knew how to kiss Vince's ass while they were there. And then the product turned edgy. Thank you, Paul Heyman and Todd Gordon. I'll use my favorite phrase. They caught lightning in a bottle. Belinda, I think they've got a good idea down there. Let me reach out and see what we can... Who the hell is this Eric Bischoff? And why is he doing the raid? Why is he raiding all their talent? Okay, we'll back up Heyman for a little while. Write him a check. But meanwhile, the rest of the country is suffering. You think Vince McMahon wrote any other checks to any other mid-majors or smaller promotions in the country to help get them through after the talent had been raided? Crockett sold out to Turner. Watts sold out to Crockett 3 years before that. Florida was doing okay, but that's a tourist market. The Central States area had all but disappeared. World Class was limping through. Pacific Northwest had pretty much folded. Houston was gone. But once again, it's all about Vince. And then after everything was said and done during the Attitude Era, on that fateful day at Club La Vila in Panama City, when Shane walked out and made it public, the wrestling world of fans, not the IWC, because the IWC really wasn't there yet, had a collective. Oh, shoot. Brian thought I was going to get one right there.
I think in that case you could have said it. It would have been all right.
Oh, no, there were a few other things that I actually said that night, because as I'm watching at 164 Green Park South in Pelham, Alabama, and he comes across that television screen, and I see the split screen, Vince McMahon on the road on Monday Night Raw, Shane McMahon coming down the rampway at Club La Vila, and I'm sitting back going, nope, this sure as hell ain't going to be Girls Gone Wild. And you had that historic moment. But remember, let's go fast forward a little bit further to the night where you had Vince, Paul, and Bischoff all in the same ring. There was a certain amount of real in that moment where you had the big three. I would have given anything to keep ECW on television. Why? Because they were bringing new people into the forefront that weren't a part of the discussion. Bischoff wants to take credit for that. Screw Eric Bischoff. All he did was steal the hard work that Paul Heyman and Todd Gordon did. He can't even take full credit for the NWO. Neither can Hogan. But I will sit back and say this. The same today as it was yesterday. If you are not a Vince McMahon, and if you go back and look, kids, for the year after the buyout, how many people from WCW genuinely survived? How many of them were crapped on, dumped on, fecal mattered on? Yeah. And
there again, it would have been okay, buddy.
and brushed to the side like they were yesterday's garbage. 99% of them. The ECW guys were given a chance because Vince liked ECW and Paul Heyman. Come into this day and age, let's make it real. Vince does not give a rat's ass about Impact Wrestling. Christian, wish you the best in your future endeavors. Oh, you're going to Impact? Fine, we'll just never mention you again until you come crawling back. Kurt, have a nice day. Can't use you. Go away. Go get off the painkillers and everything else, and we'll actually talk. And then he starts screwing up his Twitter account. But then, of course, the one that took the cake long before that, he spells his last name Jarrett. Well, he can spell his name Fired. I still say that's a work. It was supposed to be at first. Vince doesn't make you. He's not going to back you. Until now. Part of the power has been handed to Hunter. Thank God. Hunter's opened Vince's eyes to go, look, these guys have a track record in other companies besides ours. They can bring a lot to the table. Vince went, prove it. Or you know those two words I like to use? You'll hear them. So Hunter did. 205 Live. United Kingdom. New Japan. Lucha Underground. Chikara. How many people come in from Impact directly into the main roster? And
oh, gosh, that's a lot.
Give me a percentage. They go straight to the main roster. Give me a percentage.
Oh, straight. Oh,
and how many go through NXT?
I think they've all gone NXT first. I can't think of any that went right to the main roster.
Almost every one of them has gone straight. Exception to the rule because AJ had the clout with New Japan and Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor's the new pet. And I said from day one when they were picked up by Sinclair and they changed the official name of the company to Ring of Honor Wrestling Entertainment that Vince and Triple H have a hand in this. How many ROH guys have gone straight to have gone down to NXT lately? A ton. And not a US ton, a metric ton. But I'm going to come back to this and put it all nice, neat in a little package. Similar to Jimmy Rave, who has the smallest package in pro wrestling.
Whoa. I thought we were done talking about tapes.
No. Jimmy Rave's finishing maneuver is a small package, and he calls it the smallest package in pro wrestling. I'm being legit. That's being real.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. You didn't know. Shows how much you follow Jimmy Rave.
Sorry, Jimmy.
So you will never be Jimmy Rave approved.
Well, you know, we can't all be smart rage.
Actually, Beyond Rings, according to Jimmy Rave, Beyond Ringside is the only Jimmy Rave approved pro wrestling radio show. Oh, ha 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 ha.
Well, fine. We won his approval.
You were bringing up Corey for a minute there. It's like, nope, I'm one up on him too. I'm inside more than he knows.
Oh God!
Just ask Paige.
Said so.
I'm turning his own phrase against him. Love you, Corey. Miss you, man. But no, seriously. Vince McMahon has the money and has the power and has the ability to completely and totally ignore the effing hell out of you if he wants to. You don't exist in his world until you come to his world. And if that doesn't put it all in proper perspective, I don't know what will.
I think you about covered it. Mm-hmm.
Hey, be sure to check out the KFC near the Southpaw.
Get you some of that Georgia gold.
Anything you'd like? Is there
keep
anything?
Your rappers and get them signed.
Is there anything that I said that you take umbrage with? Anything that you want to disagree with? You're more than welcome to. I'd love to hear a good, viable argument.
I don't disagree with you. I just think that, I mean, that's a sign of a lot of different business people, though. I mean, you don't hear Coke and Pepsi talk about each other. Well, at least you didn't for the longest time.
See, and herein lies the funny part, because you notice that I do not openly mention other shows. Because I don't listen to other shows. I don't pay attention to other shows. No disrespect intended. I don't listen to Stone Cold, Jericho, Taz. I really...
That brings up a good point.
And then,
because hijack for just a second.
I never want to be accused of stealing from somebody else. If I say something, it's organic and not something that's a retread.
Well, to bring up a subject we talked about a few minutes ago, Adam Cole is going to be on Stone Cold's podcast here next week.
Yay!
So, just throwing it out there.
Adam Cole, baby!
Already played the soundbite once. Don't push it.
Too sweet me, bro.
Excuse me.
When's the last time you heard that?
Was that Vicky?
Yes, it was, and I'm missing her sex tape.
Vicky. I miss Vicky.
I miss her sex tape.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
No.
You just made the list!
I don't know if I want to be on that list. I'm just saying.
No, but like I said, and therein lies the funny part, because whereas Impact will sit back and say, WWE, 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 how many times, I mean, put it this way, how many times is Sting recognized, Steve Borden, how many times is he recognized as a world champion in the world of professional wrestling?
Ooh, 13.
According to Vince. How many?
Like 2 or something.
How many times was he WCW?
I'm trying to think.
It's much lower.
Yeah.
I don't know. And now you got my brain thinking. I'm like, 25? No, that's not it. 3 or 4, I guess. It's a low number.
Sting's 14-year tenure with WCW and its predecessor, Jim Crockett Promotions, began in 1987. According to Wikipedia, dubbed the franchise of WCW, he held a total of 15 championships in the promotion, including the WCW World Heavyweight Championship on 6 occasions.
6. Baby.
Let's see. 6 times in, 1-time NWA World Champion, 6-time WCW Heavyweight Champion, 2-time WCW International Heavyweight Champion, which is basically the same thing as the World Championship because it evolved into the world title.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if my notes are correct, let's see. I'm trying to find it real quick.
He was WWA world champion.
Right.
That was the short-lived Australian promotion. Jeff Jarrett and Jeremy Borash.
Yeah, World Wrestling All-Stars.
Yep. He was NWA... No, it wasn't NWA World Title when he won it from Jarrett, was it?
No.
So he was TNA World Champ, 4 times?
I think... I'm looking now.
He beat Jarrett, he beat AJ, he beat Jeff Hardy, and I think he beat Kurt Angle. I hate when I can't remember stuff.
Well, y'all talk for a second. I'm looking it up.
All right, so what else you got to talk about there, Stan, real quick? Something?
Oh, looking at the old videotape. Let's look through here. Scrolling. Here we go. The Impact lawsuit with the Hardys is taking yet another turn. Apparently, with this suit, they are actually... They already sent out letters, cease and desist orders to pay-per-view providers to keep Ring of Honor's pay-per-view from being aired on DirecTV and also not on demand, one of the other providers through cable. There's also cease and desist orders being out there for merchandise for the Broken Gimmick. Rebby Hardy has been releasing T-shirts that says "F that owl." Then there's also some commentary going on with Rebby and with TNA or with Impact, apparently stating that they had violated child labor laws. I think that's a bit of a reach, but I mean, you're voluntarily putting your son on television. You're putting them in this position. You can't hold them accountable for that, especially since in the great sport of professional wrestling, you are indeed an independent contractor.
Thank you.
It's kind of hard to hold them to that standard. Hey, I'm with the Hardys on this lawsuit, but you can't tell them.
Wouldn't somebody in the main office have to have signed off on that?
Well, I'm sure they had to have an agreement in place, but at the same time, I mean, the Hardys were financing some of the tapings at this point.
Yeah, but I'm sure they had quite a bit of leeway. But I'm sure that everything was gone over prior to it taking place, and they allowed it to happen. I'm sure their lawyers, if it was going to be some big violation, would have jumped all over it and said, no, you can't do it.
You have to keep in mind at this point, Dixie Carter was still in the fray. And we don't know, until it's released by some kind of unauthorized biography, I guess, we don't really know what Dixie Carter's ineptitude really meant. I mean, and it's possible because of her that the Hardys win this suit because they basically are able to exploit everything that Dixie Carter did wrong.
But therein lies the question. If Dixie allowed this to take place, which meant it would have fallen under TNA and her control of TNA, could Impact, do they have a dog in the fight? Because they were on there maybe, 1 week after the new reboot? Maybe 1 week? And that was an old segment? You see what I'm saying? Do they have...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to call. I mean, in a situation like this, the fan in me wants to say, hey, I hope the Hardys get everything they deserve, that they've worked hard and they deserve to be able to continue to be successful. And I think that the lawsuit between Impact and the Hardys is fruitless. I just don't see it panning out for them. But at the same point, you do have to recognize the fact that hopefully, and I say this in the fact that I would hope that somebody at TNA had the wherewithal to, like Brian said, go through paperwork and make sure something was in order before these things took place. It's tough to say. I mean, do you want to see them be successful with the suit? And of course not. I want to see the Hardys be able to continue. I like to see Impact be able to stay afloat. And as much as we make fun and joke about them, they are another wrestling company in the world, and the more places for these guys to work, the more entertaining television, the better. It's just, I don't know.
Here's the other interesting thing here. All right, you have to actually think that you could take a case into court and literally order somebody from saying delete or obsolete.
Right.
Maybe the hand gesture. Okay, well, you can't do the hand gesture. Okay? Or if the Hardys want to really get smart, they just stop saying delete and just do the hand motion. Because you've seen events, I've seen events, we've been at events when all it takes is that hand movement. The minute that goes to move in a certain direction, the crowd is already halfway through delete. We know what to do for that, for that gesture. You don't even, Matt and Jeff don't even have to say it no more. Just go out there and start doing it, and the crowd will do it for you.
That's true.
It's just dumb. It's like being a sore loser and thinking that you're going to get your comeuppance with this. I mean, unless this is one big, great, giant work, let it go. You ain't going to win. All you're going to do is hurt yourself in the long run, because trust me when I tell you, on April 2nd, when they show up to take on New Day, which I believe is in the works, because I think it's funny that New Day just happens to be the host of WrestleMania with no match. The Hardys are in a parking lot, doing their tailgate party. Oh, how convenient is that? Vince is going to destroy you, and he'll do it for purpose.
Do you think that maybe WWE had advance notice that this tape was going to be leaked or released, and that's why they took New Day off of WrestleMania and just made him the host?
No, I think it is a clever. Personally, I think it's all right. So here's what I see happening. All right, this is just me. I think the Ring of Honor thing was set up by the Hardys, so they knew when they were leaving Impact, TNA, whatever, they were going to move on to Ring of Honor. They've definitely outgrown Impact, TNA. Yeah. I mean, I would get tired of shelling out my money to put on the best show you've had in years. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There comes a point where I got to stop losing money. I got to go make money. So I think they cleverly got that match set up with the Young Bucks only to tide them over and stay in the picture until WrestleMania. I think it's been in the works for quite some time. And again, if you notice, the New Day isn't getting title shots on TV. They haven't really wrestled a match in a while as a group. They're constantly going back and forth on the internet, on Twitter and stuff. So how do you conveniently get them set up in a match without booking the match? Because they have no opponent. How can the New Day not have an opponent? They weren't in the tag team title picture with Cesaro and Sheamus versus Enzo and Cass.
Right.
Have they really officially got their rematch from losing the title?
No. Not that I'm aware of, no.
Negative.
I mean, you would think there'd be a couple matches, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you go back and look, when they lost the title, is pretty much when they were kind of just, we're just going to quietly put you to the shelf and you can peddle your ice cream. But the Hardy stuff and the New Day stuff hasn't stopped. And how convenient they're going to be in Orlando doing a tailgate party that conveniently ends before WrestleMania when they can sneak into the arena and nobody's going to see them, and the host is New Day, and they're going to do their hosting duties, and all of a sudden the lights go out, and here you go. It'll be a brilliant move on Hunter or Vince's part, and I personally think it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, there is actually confirmation coming from Jeff Hardy recently in an interview stating that his Ring of Honor deal is short-termed.
Correct.
So,
April
I mean,
1st, the day before WrestleMania.
So, I mean, personally, I want to see it. I would love to see the Broken Hardys on WWE. I think that's the smartest thing they could possibly do.
And again, I think that is what Impact is more worried about than anything else. They're not so much worried about ROH, but they're worried about the millions of dollars they stand to lose should they go to the WWE. I mean, they'll make a good bit of money in Ring of Honor, but then put the money-making machine of the WWE in place, and they will make millions. Millions. Off
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
And I would not be shocked if they don't allow them to film at the Hardy compound once or twice, because it was riveting TV. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
it was classic TV. I wouldn't be shocked if they said, okay, well, we'll give you a couple of those just to get them signed and in the door. Your tag team division will jump exponentially no matter what show you put them on. My opinion, they'll stay on Raw because that division is weaker than SmackDown, and we'll all reap the benefits. So, and I've also thought about starting a boycott of Impact and like trying to take it national. You know, like hashtagging boycott Impact or something like that for the Hardys. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yes. Screw Impact. Ultimately, it hurts us as fans as much as the Hardys, because Dish Network did not show the Ring of Honor event. So that's a section of fans that did not get to see it, that now have to resort to other means to see it. So I say we start it. We'll stand up for the Hardys. The broken wrestling community will stand up for them. Screw Impact. I want to cuss so bad right now.
You're doing good. I'm proud of you, buddy.
I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it with every fiber of my being.
Brian Taylor. He is an anthropologist. He is a man amongst men.
Let me come back to something real quick. The answer to the question is 13. 6-time WCW champion, 2-time NWA world champion, 4-time TNA champion, 1-time WWA champion. Now, Sting has a very unique credit. In addition to being the 4th WCW Triple Crown champion, Sting is also one of, I think, one individuals who has worn the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship under 2 different regimes. He wore it in the Crockett era before it became the, WCW belt.
WCW.
Thank you, Scott Hall.
You're welcome.
And he wore it in the NWA TNA era. So he has the distinction. I think I may be wrong. I've tried to do my homework, and I think I'm correct on this. He is one of one person. He is one of the only people to have ever worn the NWA title during the TNA era, as well as during the Crockett or other era.
Yeah, I would think you're probably right. Because Flair didn't hold it. I'm trying to think what other champions crossed over at the beginning there.
Now, remember also, Kurt Angle is the only person to have ever held the NWA, the WWF, and the TNA championships. The night that Kurt Angle won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship was the night that the agreement ended between the NWA and TNA Wrestling. Right. So Kurt Angle was officially TNA World Heavyweight Champion for 3 hours.
Eddie Lane, also known as Wrestling Scholar.
Suck it, wow. Suck it back row and suck it Tenay.
Yeah, careful, Tenay might do it.
I'd love to have a conversation with the boy. Okay.
Oh, I'm glad you said conversation.
Okay, let's do this real quick. I know we're 10 minutes before the top of the hour, folks. We're probably going to be going a little bit long this evening. Why? Because we can. Unless, of course, Brian has to get up early in the morning because he has a real life. And
no, tomorrow I'm off, so let's roll.
So I know Stan has to...
Rolling, baby.
Stan has to be at work at the parent company in the morning, too. Actually, we can probably go about 10 over. Number one, what do you think about, if you haven't seen it yet, the addition to Jeremy Borash and the useless drama that has been created between Borash and, what's this ding-dong's name? Josh Matthews?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If that's not the dumbest thing I've ever seen, so Michael Cole-esque, I don't know what is.
Oh, yeah. It's blatant attempts now. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. It's sad. You can't... The cheap attempts at copying WWE hasn't worked yet. They still keep trying it. It's a damn shame.
However, though, the numbers for the second show are up.
I understand
they
that.
are.
But I don't think it's the...
I didn't like that crap Matthews was pulling the first episode. I haven't watched the second one yet. I think it's just dumb as ow.
Well, to the Owl and Ed Nordstrom and company, regardless of what you might think about how good it might be, it took away from the matches and it totally disrespected the wrestlers that were performing inside the ring.
I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, that was dumb. That's owl poop. God, I'm so good tonight. Dun dun dun. That'll be the lead-in for the next break. We'll do like an old 50s serial on the radio. Will he cuss? Find out after the break. That's great right there.
Loud
beautiful
noises!
Why are we yelling?
I don't know what we're yelling about!
And then...
So you had all day long to sit back there and think of a promo, and that's the only crap you could come up with?
You know, I feel sorry for James Storm now that you've brought him up. God, he really just needs to get out of that company.
Yeah,
I think he would do very well in NXT.
I don't think it's going to take much longer for him to head on back to WWE. I think WWE is... They respected him for wanting to go back and see if he can make a run for it, probably because WWE told him, I don't know what we have for you as far as future plans. They didn't know what they had with him. I think when you look at it, James Storm is not a bad worker at all. I think he's great, but at the same time, I don't know that he would flourish under the WWE. So I think that they probably told him the truth.
I think he would, just like Eric Young has, and Bobby Roode definitely has. I think fans see talent; they like talent, especially in NXT. I just think he got cold feet.
Yeah, but to go from being face to heel to beer money to face to heel to psychotic cult leader to NXT back to Impact and now becoming cult leader all over again.
I mean, even MC Hammer's going, dude, what happened?
Oh yeah, I mean there's no doubt he made the mistake and he realizes it. But I think when he went to NXT, he got cold feet and probably listened to somebody he shouldn't have and said, well, I'm going to go back to the place I've been for, 12 years, however long it had been.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good motherfucking day, sir.
Almost. Almost.
God, we really need T-shirts of that thing.
With the corner-to-corner thing on the front and then on the back, MF
Yep.
and GDS.
Good, yeah, good MFDS.
Pardon us, we struggle with spelling.
I thought it'd be C2F and C.
No.
Well, that too.
But, honestly, what James is probably the last, had been there the longest now. Because Abyss came after him, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
So, he's probably one of the last holdouts that'll probably be booted before too long.
Let's see, he is a TNA original in every sense of the word. Bobby Roode and Eric Young were both there in the early days as well with America's Most Wanted and Team Canada, respectively. Now that you have the return of Jeff Jarrett, Bruce Pritchard, and Dutch Mantell, you've got three of the original driving forces behind TNA now steering Impact off into the abyss. Abyss, I believe, is second year in or maybe third year. But from that vantage point, he is classified as an Impact original. From there, let's see, that's pretty much it. Angelina Love was 3 years in. Velvet Sky, who I think is trying to get out of her contract, was about 3 years in with the Beautiful People. I don't think is Gail still there?
Yeah, Gail Kim is still there, but I think her contract is up soon.
And by the way,
used in a while.
And from my personal perspective, to Ed Nordstrom and that damn owl, guys, grow up. You're not going to win this. It's going to give you a black eye in the public forum that you are not capable of handling right now because you have so many, even though your numbers went up a smidgen this week, you are still in a very precarious circumstance to where you cannot handle bad publicity any more than it's already out there. Some people say that that any press is good press. I'm sorry, not always true.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, buddy. When the corner-to-corner crew hashtags boycott Impact, you're done. I mean, you better call me right now and pay me some money to stop me from doing it. That's all I got to say.
Or free T-shirts.
Yeah, or free T-shirts. Well, I mean, they're almost free now. I would like to get that 12-hour AJ Styles video if they still have it. But I don't know if I want the $100 worth of Jeff Hardy loot for $10, but actually it's probably more than that. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go that crazy with it. But.
You wouldn't want to buy the Hardys? The Hardys loot?
No, that's a lot of like Jeff Hardy armbands and crap like that.
You could be like his creatures. Isn't that what he calls his fans?
Yeah, creatures. Yeah.
You start dancing like him, buddy.
No, I can't. My body doesn't move like that. I mean, you got to understand when you're this weight, if you start your body moving in a certain direction and you don't get it to stop in time,
that could be bad.
You just keep moving. You know what I'm saying?
So you're not just falling; you're falling with style.
Yes, yeah. I mean, when your belly, rolls like Jell-O, take a bowl of Jell-O and see if you can get it to stop on a dime. Yeah.
Jell-O jigglers.
Yeah, it's the same principle. It's not that easy.
It's all right, man. I believe in you.
I mean, that's why there's no fat Chippendales. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Chris Farley pulled it off.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you watched a fat Chippendale, as a woman, your neck would spring apart or something. You just couldn't watch all the jiggling going side to side, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, look at that Jell-O! Oh, jiggle, jiggle.
Hey, you got a good point, buddy. I think you're speaking my language, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, golly dang. You know, we try to have as much fun as we possibly can here on Corner to Corner. And if you're listening for something serious, you're listening to the wrong show.
All the way up until the time they put Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
I still think that could be kind of good.
I think the match could be good. The lead up may suck, but I think the match could be good.
I think the lead up will be better than the match.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Shane can outwork AJ on promos. AJ can kill Shane in the ring. Everybody's going to be watching this match for the one big bump that Shane is going to take.
That's true.
Oh, and it's going to be a big bump. I can guarantee you that.
I guarantee you that AJ Styles is going to pull out every move against Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon better learn how to sell him real quick, all the way to the La Magistral pin attempt, all the way through the Ushigoroshi. He's going to have to be on. He's going to have to be on his game. They better have already started working on this match 2 weeks out.
Well, I think if Shane pulls this off, he may have a little bit more talent than we all give him credit for. So, I mean, being able to go with AJ when you're not really a quote-unquote talent, it ought to be pretty impressive.
Yeah, they don't need the Young Bucks. Shane McMahon is a spot monkey.
Hey! Hey! How dare you? If I had a glove that could reach to that microphone, we would be dueling right now. Although I did see a picture that, I got to touch on the Young Bucks, a little bit. I did see a picture from their Twitter feed of the Young Bucks, and the last few months they've been posting pictures of all the titles they had and holding them, and, at one time it was like 6, and then it was down to 4, then it was down to 2, and so I think today they put one, something about, look at all the titles we have. And it's a picture, and they don't have any titles, and they're all looking all poutyful. I mean, it's pretty funny. I thought it was funny. Being a Young Bucks fan, I thought it was funny. So, until the first, they'll get 2 of them back. Bam!
How do you lose your own damn title belts?
I know. But that just goes to show you, though, the honest people they are. Because if it was me and it was my super kick title, I wouldn't lose it. I'd be like, it's mine. I own it. Give it here. And you never won this time.
Give me my belt. Give it.
Yeah,
give it.
It's my belt. It's my belt. I paid for it. Give me my belt.
It costs $500 to make that. Be careful.
I don't think those belts cost that damn much.
I'm still waiting for them to put it up on sale.
What, the Super Kick Championship?
Do what?
Okay, so y'all would need the Super Kick 6-man championship.
The Trios Championship, sir.
This ain't Chikara. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm just saying. We could do it.
Or is it going to be the Lucha Underground Championship?
Hey, that'd be cool, too. Except I don't want to get Muerte's mad that I've been, asking his manager to marry me. Just saying.
Oh, dude. Yeah, y'all should have been at AWE Show of the Year 3 when I had a chance to hang out and talk to and work with Ivelisse.
Oh, yes. To quote Paul Bear, oh, yeah.
And right after that, I was able to talk to Heidi Lovelace.
Yes, sir. Oh, golly dang. And people just continue to put this woman's picture on Twitter. Good Lord. Can't stop
Why do you think? Can't stop looking? Come on. Why do you think
Carly Leilani is gorgeous?
Who?
That's the woman that plays Katarina on Lucha Underground.
Okay, yeah, she is beautiful.
Oh,
very nice.
Oh, Veronica Voss.
Speaking of Lucha Underground, though, it is on Netflix.
Yes.
First 2 seasons. Yes. It is nice to watch it in English.
Brian didn't have the best of providers.
No, because when I had El Rey, it was Spanish El Rey.
You were just on the wrong channel because I've got both.
Yeah. I didn't get lucky enough to. Apparently, I didn't buy the right package. You know what I'm saying? I must have bought.
Brad Maddox wasn't there to help you.
Oh.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and take our top of the hour break.
No, let's just go ahead and call it a Radio Ranch Destination Day on that one. That's how we're going. Bye-bye.
Wow.
No.
We just got shut down. Was it the Maddox joke? You can be honest. It was the Maddox joke.
It sucked.
Damn. We just got shut down.
Wow. Way to go. Don't you know you're the straight guy, you're not the funny guy?
Stand straight?
Hey.
Dang it.
Damn it. I hold you responsible for this, Brian. This is your fault.
If there was ever any doubt that on one given night that two people could keep it clean verbally and be on the same page, tonight Fast Eddie Lane and Brian Taylor just proved it could happen.
Bastards.
And it was glorious.
Oh, man.
Yes, that is a midget between my legs.
That's what she said.
Are you sure that's not what he said?
Oh.
And for those of you that have been listening ever since 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, of course, you might be asking yourself,
what have we learned from this sketch? As usual, nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Oh, we should also mention on Netflix, I believe Dave Chappelle has 2 shows coming up. Is that right?
Good.
Back-to-back nights or something?
Talk about glorious. That's awesome.
Yes. Yes. It's going to be great. It's going to be great effing fun. Ooh.
You were close there, bud.
Ooh, that was close.
no, I knew he was going to say F, and I had him scouted on that one. I'm impressed he stuck to his guns.
Yeah, I'm sticking to my guns. We've made it to the 11 o'clock hour. Wait. Did somebody say 11 o'clock hour?
Dun, dun, dun.
My finger's on the button.
How fast can you push it? Is it one of the buttons?
And for those of you listening right now, you know exactly how quickly I can push it.
All right, let's hear it. Let's see if I can.
I've already got it pushed. I just released it, and now it's pushed again. Now I've released it. It's pushed again. Time that out, turkey.
Well, yeah, because I always like when they push the button on the clean words, and by the time their finger comes up, they're cussing again.
I know. That's normally funny.
that is so funny.
I'm just trying to avoid doing a S-ton of post-production tonight.
Oh, no, I'm gonna let it slide tonight. I'm behave.
And then which I'll go ahead and commandeer the moment. Brian Taylor, last call.
Let's see.
No, I'm actually saying the bar is closing. Last call.
Last call.
Get your order in.
Closing time. I think Mick Foley might be on his way out for surgery from Raw. I'll leave. That'll be my closing after last Monday. I won't get into it. It's closing time. Closing time.
Still hate that
One
song.
last call for alcohol.
I've worked in nightclubs for too many years. I hate that song.
Beer.
You horses, you know what.
That was a disgusting act.
And here's the thing. I
work with amateurs.
I've actually got about 4,000 sound bites that I can drop in. It's just a matter of loading them in.
Loading them in?
Yeah.
You did watch the tape.
No, I didn't watch anything. I have not watched tape or video or MP4 or Wave or movie or Jiffy or...
You still got beta? You didn't mention beta. You got that thing on beta?
Damn.
Talk about grainy quality.
Beta was better than VHS. What are you talking about?
Yeah, beta was pretty good.
Beta was the broadcast standard, Stan.
He wasn't, but he's not from that era. I mean, he was probably born at the end of beta. Weren't you, Stan? A little 3 hours,
right around the end of it.
tapes. Huh?
So let's see if Brian picks up on the joke around here. So if he was picked up top flight #1 King of the Hill proper title, Beta, what would that have made him? Say it. Say it.
I'm not saying. I don't want to be wrong. I will be wrong.
If you were
that's not right.
If you were gonna, I thought for a second you'd actually play along and say, "Master Beta."
Ah, boo! 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 I say, boo!
I'm trying to be good.
Yeah, but you could have gotten away with that one.
Yeah, but I know, but I'm trying not to pick on Stan either, because that'll then cause me to curse. Because I'll be like, oh, it's free love around this place right now. Woo! I get away with everything.
Stan Grubb, last call.
Well, keep your cell phones on lockdown. Make sure you delete stuff you don't want released, because damn knows it's a shame that this all week has been cluttered. With Paige and Brad Maddox and a side of Xavier Woods. I don't think anybody wants to really see.
Well, there's some people that I'm sure wanted to see it.
And make sure you keep the title out of it. I'm just saying.
Didn't Charlotte kiss that thing?
Charlotte did. Sasha did.
Both.
How do you think Asuka feels right now?
Both Bellas kissed it. Oh wait, no, that's the NXT Championship. I'm sorry. I thought it was the Divas title that she redecorated.
Ooh, your title is digging into my hip.
Is that your title, or you're just happy to see me?
Great. We have just created 1 million memes out there. We're not going to get any credit for it.
Oh, keep it clean, folks, and make sure you use protection.
God, yes. And clean your belt when you're done.
Blah. Why does it smell like bleach in here?
Why is
so
it
you've never used your belts?
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny the champion of the world.
Yeah, kicked over the bathroom. Here I am, baby. You got the world champ tonight.
Hey, Brian, what's your Twitter account this week?
Not falling for it. That was a good try. I'm wise to your sorcerer ways.
I've got one you can have.
Wait,
Brian hasn't seen that one.
I know it.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I didn't see that one.
There is an underground cult account for Brian Taylor.
Nice. What is it? So I can go look.
It's Brian says ish C2C or something like that.
Brian says ish.
Well, not ish.
Oh.
I knew he'd get it in there. I knew it. I was ready.
He took the bait and he ran with it.
Yes, that's why my finger never left the button.
Oh, Brian, you beautiful bastard, you. Folks, I guess that'll do it for this edition of Corner to Corner. You can catch the show at C2C Radio Show. You can catch us on Instagram at Corner to Corner. Corner2cornerwrestling.com, corner2cornerradio at gmail.com. Rob can be found at the glorious one, Rob C2C. That's the number one, by the way. And I can be found at Stan from Krypton. Be sure to check us out on the replays here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and Spreaker.com. We'll have it available for you just as soon as we possibly can. Have a great night, everybody.
And one last passing thought. Keep your timber limber, and you'll be a hard man to beat.
And remember, some departing NXT Women's Champions get the Stanatronic 5000 Ladies Personal Tension Abductor, now in a rechargeable model. Great for domestic access from front and rear.
Oh, good Lord. Up, up, down, down has got a bunch of different hits that they never thought they would see coming.
For Stan Grubb.
Oh, just get the wipes and keep it clean, for crying out loud.
For Brian Taylor.
Deuces.
Rob, miss your brother. See you next week. I'm show producer Fast Eddie Lane, and now studio announcer saying good night.
Bye.